Hello everyone, Mel Carson, US brand ambassador for Majestic here at Digital East with a gentleman that should need no introduction, Michael King, wearing a Moz t-shirt. How ironic is that? How are you doing, mate?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
This is such a great conference. We were commenting how you were doing your SEO track yesterday, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But Digital East is really fabulous from the point of view of it's kind of different from all the traditional search conferences, and there's a little bit here for everybody.
Sure, absolutely. It's more of a broader digital conference, so there's a lot more conversations around bigger picture ideas than just search. So it's cool to get out of just search and discuss how we play in the bigger picture.
So I wanted to talk to you. You were telling me yesterday that you're a paid-up subscriber of Majestic. You've obviously used it over the years. When we're thinking about link building now in 2014 with, Google penalties and all that kind of stuff, what should be the approach that marketers look to for, getting visibility and getting links to your site? Because they're still important, right?
Absolutely. Links are always going to be important. I mean, it's the main measure that separated Google from the other search engines in the past. They're not going to abandon that ever. And I think that realistically at this point, it's more about having multiple tactics. Like, everybody put their eggs in one basket on the guest posting thing, and then as we expected, it eventually backfired. So it's really about having a collection of ways to get links. So if that's just pure outreach, if it's, getting some PR coverage, if it's, even still doing guest posting, but being focused more on the higher quality websites getting placements on. But the bottom line is that you need to come up with a variety of tactics. And again, broken link building is a really good one. It's probably the only one that truly scales at this point. And Majestic is a great tool for uncovering those broken links. But ultimately, it's about figuring out what are multiple ways that we can use to get links, so that we're not just at scale buying, terrible copy from some of these writing providers and placing it on really bad sites. It's more about figuring out what are the best quality sites that are relevant to your space that you can then get a link from using a variety of tactics.
So when you're using Majestic, how do you use it specifically and what for?
Sure. So one of the first things I do whenever I get a new client is download their entire link profile and then crawl all the linking link targets. So make sure that those are all 200s. If they're not 200s or 301s, then we definitely want to make sure those get updated, because that means they're leaking link equity that they already have. So fixing that is the first thing that we do. Then from there, we'll do a lot of competitive analysis. I really love the Click Hunter tool to see the different sites that are linking to your competitors that aren't linking to you. Then those are relatively quick hits. And then we'll also pull the competitor link profiles and do the same thing, crawl their link targets to see where their broken links are as well, and then see where we have opportunities to either create a better piece of content or create, using existing content on the site, and then reach out to those sites and say, hey, why don't you link to us, since that other site no longer has that resource.
So that helps with analysis and link building. I find somebody again today at this conference came to us saying, "You saved our life. We were slammed by Google," and so Majestic's being used in a positive way when the likes of Google are slamming people as well.
Absolutely. And the citation flow and trust flow metrics are really great to take a quick look to see where you think your issues may be. So you can prioritize what you need to look through when you're doing your link audit. If something is a really low trust flow or citation flow, then we're like, okay, let's check those out by hand before we go looking at everything. So when we do backlink audits, we definitely pull again the entire backlink profile and then go from there as far as determining what we need to actually review.
When people come to us on the stand and they don't have that much experience with SEO, they know they've got to do it, and they kind of understand what a link profile is and kind of understand how Google or Bing's algorithm works. Where do you suggest that they start, and how should Majestic play into, you know, those baby steps of them getting a better understanding and being better at SEO and digital marketing?
Yeah, I think the best way to help them understand that concept is to show them the comparison between them and their competitors. Because a lot of people will come to us, they'll be like, oh, well, we're LG, we're really important. Why don't we rank for the keyword TV? Samsung is beating us across the board. So if I can show you the case that, oh, well, they have way more linking root domains or way more links, it's a really clear picture in what is important and why Majestic is important, and showing you what's going on in the space. So showing them why one of their competitors is beating them and then highlighting those specific metrics is the best way to give them like a crash course in what they need to be looking at and why it matters.
Thanks very much, Michael. Great session yesterday that you did on SEO here at Digital East, and we will be at Digital Dallas later on in the year. Majestic, Dixon Jones will be with me there, so if you've liked what you've heard about this conference, we'll see you there in Texas.
I'll be there too.